welcome to Pint-Sized OCR, the only podcast in the world dedicated to junior obstacle course racing and produced by UK OCR. And here's your hosts, Libby Joyce and Finlay Greenleaf.
Well, everyone, we are back. We've been absent from your ears for a while, but hopefully not absent from your hearts. Pint-Sized OCR returns with both me, Finlay Greenleaf, and of course, Libby Joyce, as we deeply discuss all things to do with junior OCR. So please, strap yourselves in for an adventure as we get underway with another exciting episode. This is Pint-Sized OCR. Bam.
And the intros are back.
Intro's always going to be back and always going to be better than the last. That's the plan anyway.
Actually, it seems like a very long time since.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Because we've had a couple of big races in between since our last one, but it does seem like quite a long time.
Yeah,
Did it?
Miss being here.
Yeah. So let's get started. So obviously Euros was first, but we're going to come back to that because we're going to start off with British Champs.
Yes, very, very exciting event, I think.
We had a very good turnout for juniors.
Yes, I was going to say that. Being someone who was there, I kind of, I'm sad I'm an adult now, but compared to when the adult race went on, I'd actually say the junior one had a better atmosphere, a better environment, more people cheering. It actually felt like the junior one was more the star of the show, and the adult was literally just like a little introduction. It was a little, whatever the word is in boxing, the pre-match for the big fight. It was just a side show. The junior was the main show for the day, so that was really, really great to see.
Yeah, because I was TOing on the last rig, and there was one or two changes in places, which made it really, really cool to watch. But should we get into the podiums?
Yes, might as well.
So I'll start off with the females 10 to 11. So we had Sophie Jeffries in first, then we had Jasmine, and then Lauren Cox. So they were the top three, and I think there was quite a few in that age category as well. So I think all of the age categories had quite a few in them.
Yeah, I mean, that's 10 to 11 girls. You look at the boys, of course, with Archie Bright taking third, Cameron Young in second, and Henry Ferriman took the gold. Of course, that's 2 rumbles on there. So that's very impressive. Libby.
Okay, let's get into the results then. So I'll start with the females 10 to 11. So in third place was Lauren Cox. In second place was Jasmine. And then in first place was Sophie Jeffries.
Yeah, brilliant race.
I think the turnouts for all the age categories were really good, to be fair, because you had more than 3 in them.
Yeah, I'd say I've got the 10 to 11 for the boys. Archie Bright took the bronze medal. Second went to Cameron Young. But first was Henry Ferriman, which means in the 10 to 11, both were won by Rumble Racing. So what can I say? The best team coming out on top once again. So, boom, Rumble.
Yeah. All right, we'll move on quickly then. We'll start.
Don't want to talk about Rumble, do you? Don't want to start gloating now on how we've won again.
No. We'll go into the females 12 to 13. So in third place was Emma Wright. In second place was Eve Jackson. And then in first place was, of course, Izzy Young.
Yeah, and she won that by a good bit, I have to say. Really good running and, looked really, really strong out on course.
She's been improving so much over this. Yeah.
And then you see the same with the boys 12 to 13. Of course, Josh Lowes took third. Second was Riley Gleeson. But first was Harry Jeffrey. And I have to say, just like Izzy was in the girls, ploughing ahead of the field, taking the gold by, quite a good margin. Looking very, very comfortable. And, deserving of his victory.
Yep, that's another one who's been doing really well this year as well.
Yeah, he's been doing sensational. We can't really say just this year, I think, for a long time. And he's really starting to get media coverage of it this year and start to really show, especially to the whole OCR world, exactly how good he is.
I think going back quickly as well to the females 10 to 11, Henry has improved so much over this year as well, and Sophie as well. But I think Henry had a good race, and I think it really boosted his confidence, and he looks so happy as well.
Yes, him in the boys 10 to 11, sensational.
Right, then we've got the females 14 to 17. We had Caitlin in third, then Lottie, and then Lauren.
Yeah, it was another good race. I think, especially you, like you said, but at the end there on the technical obstacle and seeing them all go through, it was definitely entertaining. Lauren, of course, bringing it home for Scotland, unlike the Euros, of course, which
Yep.
will go to England. But there you go. Scotland get to win OCR this case, just not football. I had to bring that in at some point. Everyone listening knows what's happening. I'm hoping that I haven't jinxed things because this has been recorded before the final. But
Oh God.
there you go.
Yeah. And then we got the boys.
Yes, so Alexander Cook took third. Second was Jack Roberts, but once again, Scottish domination in the 14-17 as Cameron Montgomery took the gold medal in quite a strong performance. And I'm going to speak about this race because that race was spectacular. I'll tell you what, I was rabbiting and being a bit of a cameraman for the 14-17, and it was back and forth. I tell you what, first person ploughed off at the start, and this is, I think, this was same as the Spartan Super, so a good long distance. And he took the lead, and it was a good run by him. And then this pack caught up, and it was good battle back and forth. And then I don't know names of people, I apologise, but someone took the lead. He fell off a balance beam, and because it's obviously a penalty is a run. He ran round. Someone else took the lead, and he took first. And it was really just back and forth. What I'm trying to say, it'd be a lot more helpful if I knew the names of people. But it was just back and forth, back and forth. And then coming through near the end, someone else poked ahead, but they fell off the I think it was a rope climb in the end. And he did a massive penalty loop. This is a great description by me as well. This is marvelous. I mean, like I said, I should know names, but the point is he was on this penalty loop, but the other two came round and he finished the penalty loop, and they all caught up, all three of them at the front of the pack. And it was a right battle. And it was literally the very, very end. It came to the firefighters, and those who were there know that was at the very, very end. And Cameron, he got through it. The other two failed. They took penalties. And Cameron took it in his stride, hit the belt, and he just surged through, sprinting, took the gold. It was sensational. And the other two shortly followed. Of course, actually, the person who was in first then failed the last rig, and it was Alexander Cook who sneaked in and took the bronze. So that was brilliant by him not to give up, to fight through and take third place.
Yeah.
So wow, what a race. And I felt really honoured to be able to watch it.
And who was first again? Sorry.
Cameron Montgomery, Scottish lad.
So that's obvious. That's brother and sister on podium.
Yes, yeah, I believe so. Hopefully not to mix up surnames. I'm hoping that is,
Yeah.
of course, like I say, Caitlin taking third.
Yeah.
So, and also that means I'm going to presume she's also Scottish. That is, yeah, 3 out of the 6. So 50% of podiums there were Scottish in the 14-17. So they're really taking over.
Yeah.
Which, as someone who's English, I'm not a fan of. But there you go. So, yeah, it was really, really great. I mean, like you say, there's so many juniors racing, and yeah, really, really special occasion. It's really nice to see. They stole the show, and they've shown they're the future.
Yeah, it definitely was good to see so many juniors.
Yeah. And what I would like to say is quite interesting there. You look at the adult and also the 14-17, that was done as a no ban system. That was foul obstacle. You do your penalty at the site. But I think all the other age caps, 10 to 11 and the 12 to 13, I believe they were 4-ban system. There might have been 3, but I think it was 4-ban system. So,
3, I think.
was it? Yeah. Well,
3.
Either way,
4.
it was incredible to watch. It was 4. Yeah,
4.
Nice. It was incredible to watch because a lot of them had theirs on. I don't know how to describe, but I couldn't see their bands. We were watching the ends of some of the races, and you see them go through. Oh, they're going to take it. They're going to take it. No, you're a penalty loop, and it was all these races. I didn't know how many bands people had. No one knew what bands people had. So all just running through the penalty loop. We didn't know who was going to come out and take second or third, or even the gold at some points. We didn't know someone was going to run past and overtake them all, or they had to go for a penalty. It was pure entertainment because you never knew, and it was the unknowing that made it so entertaining. And all these juniors gave it 110%. They're all fighting. They all didn't stop. They didn't slouch. They didn't cry. They just focused and they went for it. And that's what we want to see, that determination and the fight in these juniors to be able to do that. It's absolutely sensational. So, wow, what an event.
Yeah, I think Finn's just said it all there, really.
I'll tell you what, I'm gonna go on a little campaign now because what that event's made me realise. Do you know what we have in OCR in the UK? We have the UK OCR series. But do you know what we don't have? Don't have a kids series. And why is that? Because you look at the kids, there's so many great competitive kids out there. Like I say, with the UK OCR series, do we need a junior series? There's great races out there now. There's plenty, and we've seen the competitions there. So can that be made happen? Can we start a little campaign to get that going? because that'd be really, really entertaining. And it'd be great as well. It's what the sport needs. We
Yeah.
start like a little,
Good.
what's the word? Little campaign for that. Get people signatures to write down and say, get a kids league going. That'd be great. Like I say, I think that'd be really, really great. Start a little protest next event. There you go.
Okay. So obviously we had a little bit of a skip there, and we obviously had the European Championships beforehand. So we had that before, but sadly me and Finn weren't there. We had
Yeah.
other important things. We had GCSEs.
Yeah. Stay in school, kids. OCR is important. So's your education. Make sure. Keep your mind trained just like your body. Strength for the mind. I'm trying to be motivational. I'm trying to put the parents on our side a bit more after we told them to spend all their money. So
Yeah.
there you go.
But yeah, we had our GCSEs, but it means we can go to the Euros next year.
Portugal.
So which will be good. But obviously we weren't there. But go on, Finn, I'll let you take this bit.
Okay. Here we go. We've got someone who was there to help us because we're utterly clueless. I wouldn't say clueless, but
We
we're
are
not-
most clueless.
Yes, we're mostly. I'm
Yeah.
trying to defend myself here. I'm
No,
mostly
no,
clueless, like
no,
most
we
things.
are mostly-
Yes, we are mostly clueless. Let's be honest. I'm not trying to big myself up. I am utterly clueless about this. So we've got a helping hand. Star Ninja herself, of course, took a silver medal at the World Championships and is well known across the globe. One and only Izzy Baskeyfield. Welcome to the podcast.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Hi guys, I'm doing well. How are you all doing?
Yeah, all right.
Good.
Good. Thank you so much for having me on this podcast. I'm very, very excited.
Thank you for
Yeah.
coming to help us because we wouldn't know what really to
Yeah.
talk about.
We're lost without you right now.
Yeah. So obviously you were there.
Yes.
What was the atmosphere? We'll start off with the atmosphere because I think that's one of the biggest things.
Well, from what I saw, the atmosphere was really, really good. And what I love about when we go abroad to compete is all the other countries support as well. So obviously my main event is the 100 meters. So obviously it's a lot more compact. You can see everyone a lot more. And it doesn't matter what like country athlete it was. You had like all the different countries chasing them through, running to the finish line, there hugging everyone at the end. And it just feels very, very supportive. And it was the same on the 3K, but obviously I didn't see that as much because there was a lot of rushing around with the 3K because we had heats to do and this and that and the other on the 100 meters as well. But everything just seemed like really, really supportive between all the different countries as well as the UK lot with the UK lot, obviously. So yeah, it was very, very good.
Yeah, nice. I mean, I've got a couple of stats here, if you don't mind, for the juniors at the Euros. Of course, we had Oliver Addy. He beat his own time for an even faster British 100-meter youth record and became the second fastest British athlete ever. And of course, OCR's young Tom Cruise himself also took the gold in the youth male at the 100-meter. So, yeah, our little young Tom Cruise smashing it once again. And of course, Harry Jeffrey took up third place in the 12 to 13 age category in the 3K against tough field athletes. And of course, yourself, I'm going to trust my sources here. Did you get fourth in the 100-meter as well? So what was that
I did.
like?
That was very interesting. So there was a lot of delays for the 100 meters. Sadly, a lot of people got injured this year. So that put a lot of setbacks in. So the finals ended up actually happening on the last day instead of the day before the last day. But yeah, it was so good. The standard of the athletes just compared to Worlds to now is so different because obviously all the other countries have the course to practice on. So they've all got so much faster. It's insane. It's very, very fast.
Yeah. Well, it's been a quick growth. Would you say that then? Because obviously
Absolutely.
the course is very similar. So yeah, quickly people expanding, getting better and better.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Can
So
we talk about... Oh, come on, Libby.
okay.
Sorry, it's me.
It's all right. So obviously you said how everyone was watching everyone. Did you watch the other juniors go? And if you did, how do you think they did? And was there, don't want to have word this, was it like a good group of UK lot watching everyone else, I think?
Absolutely. There was a lot of the youth athletes as well as the older athletes and the elites cheering everyone on. So on the 3K especially, obviously there was more rigs that you could see this year. So there was like a good set of rigs just next to the finish line. And if you go over there, you just see a load of the British Obstacle Sports t-shirts, everyone filming everybody, cheering, trying their hardest not to give too many tips so we didn't get shouted at, and just like really trying to support each other and pushing each other through it. And it was a really, really good atmosphere.
And how would you say a lot of our youth athletes kind of compare to other countries, of course, because we're trying to make ourselves more technical as a country, because you compare us to a lot of European countries like Denmark or even the Dutch. Of course, some of the Dutch obstacles make ours look like 5-year-old playgrounds. They're insane. So how would you say our youth's getting along now and faring against some of those super European athletes?
Well, I definitely think we can hold our own. Obviously, we got well, I will say a lot because I see it as a lot of our youth athletes on podiums this year in Euros. So we can definitely hold our own, but I'd love to see how we would get on if we had the abilities to build obstacles and rigs that they can build in other countries. I would love to see how much more, even more, they would improve if we had those sort of things over here, because I think it would just be phenomenal. We'd have so many good athletes.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people are like that these days. We want that more technical side of it in the UK. Of course, Europe's got that a lot better than us. And I think for the adults and especially for the kids as the sport grows on, to have that technical side of it is really, really key and makes the sport stand out and is what it is. So to have that in the UK, I think is absolutely crucial.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think definitely what you said, like if we can get some of them technical obstacles in the UK, I think it'll benefit us as well. And I think the juniors will be able to train on them sort of obstacles and improve, as you said. I think you've explained that really, really well. So obviously you ran the 100 meters. How did you find your runs went?
So at first, I thought they went pretty well. I got a few new PBs, but I felt like as a whole, it probably could have gone a little bit better. I did make a few silly mistakes, which cost me my finals. So it put me into the losers bracket instead of the winners bracket because I missed a bell. But yes, it was very interesting. Like you look at it and you think it's like everyone's watching and it's so scary, and then you get on the platform, you've got your foot on the pressure pad, you can feel your heart beating, but as soon as you go, everything's gone. You get like complete tunnel vision and it's just you and the course. So I think that helps a lot. Because I know whenever I've like done worse on my runs, it's because I've been not as like focused on the course. So I'd been like listening out for people and stuff like that, and then I'd lose focus. So I definitely felt like having like more tunnel vision, complete focus. Obviously, you do a lot better. The obstacles were really good this year. I mean, they were good last year, but everything felt a lot like grippier, and the bells were nice, and I thought it was very good, to be honest. I really liked it.
Yeah, nice. Exactly what we want to hear. You went on about, like you just said, about having just to focus. Would you say that's very, you said that already, but I'm trying to process it in my mind because I'm not a 100-meter athlete. I've got to try and get in the zone of it because I've watched 100-meter before, of course, especially at Belgium. The atmosphere was insane. So do you have to just fully, just like you say, tunnel vision, focus, try and block the noise out? And is that even easy? Because obviously there's such massive crowds cheering, chanting, everything. Is it easy to just be able to go, bam, focus on obstacles, or can that be a struggle sometimes?
I see it as it could be a little bit of a struggle, but as long as you're like fully focused, I mean, I guess in a way it depends how do you phrase it? How like determined you are. Like if you're more like, oh, I'm just testing it, it's gonna go how it goes, then it's obviously a lot harder to block stuff out. But if you're very focused, like I'm going for gold, I need to win this, it's not too hard at all. You just because you've got so much going through your head with, okay, so I'm going to do this on this obstacle. I need to make sure I jump this side on this, step with this foot. Like your brain's doing so many things at once that because you're overthinking about everything else, it is a bit easier to block everything else out as well. But it definitely wasn't easy. I remember my first few ninja comps, I was just like I was listening to everyone else too much, and therefore I was doing worse because I wasn't focusing enough on the obstacles. So it definitely helps having the like tunnel vision block everything out, but it is quite hard to do until you get used to it, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, I remember doing 100-meter back at Italy Euros, the original one. The one before that was that 2020, 2021. I can't think now, but Italy take one is what I'm going to call it. And I absolutely loved it. I really enjoyed 100-meter, and I kind of wish I was a bit better at it because I think the atmosphere is something really special. I mean, I remember my last go, whether it's practice or qualifying time, I British flag. I left it at the top of the quarter pipe at the end, and I spent at the end I probably spent more time after finishing showboating with a British flag than I did on the actual 100-meter course because I absolutely love the atmosphere. I was just celebrating in front of people, having a great time, and it feels really special. I mean, I'm not trying to change anyone from OCR to Ninja, trying to shift people away from either one. They're both sensational in their own way. They both got their great things about it, but the Ninja and the 100-meter atmosphere just feels absolutely incredible. It's something else. I don't want to say this because I love OCR, but it makes it feel like a proper sport. Like you go to OCR, the course is spread out, so you often go into the woods by yourself. Of course, it's like that in many other sports, like cross country running, for example. But you go to the 100-meter, for example, and it's like a proper football or rugby crowd. Everyone's there watching, especially like I say in Belgium, the finals. It is a proper sensational atmosphere, and like anyone, I dare you, who's not going to see it before, go watch it, go be there, witness it, because it's something else. It's really, really special. And yeah, absolutely love it personally.
Yeah. I think I haven't raced 100 meters yet. Yet. Well, no, I have raced 100 meters. That's a lie. I have done one, but there will be another one coming at some point. But I
Croatia?
think no,
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 I've seen the
no.
prize money for that. I'm a bit interested now.
No, it's well, we'll have to wait and see. But the next one I will be doing will be the OCRW, mainly because
Oh.
last year it was all Spartan obstacles. So we're having a go. We're having a go. We're not moving away from OCR. We're having a go. But the atmosphere, I think for the ones I've been at, so one at Toe Warrior, one at Belgium, which are the ones I've been to? OCRWC, Mammoth. They were all crazy. Amount of people were there were ridiculous. It was just packed. And with where some of them are, you have seats. The seats were full and there were people lining up anywhere they could get, and it was just crazy to watch. But yeah, they are really, really good to watch. So I do recommend going watching them. But quickly going back to Izzy, how you said with the tunnel vision, do you think having that from Ninja has helped going into OCR as well when you're on like the technical rigs and everyone's there? Do you think having that moving over to doing OCR as well, that's helped?
Yeah, I think it has because obviously it's a lot easier to focus and improve when you're not like aware of everything else. So obviously you want to be aware of where you are in the race, but if you focus so much on like, oh, another person's overtaken me, this has happened, I've fallen off of this, I've got another penalty, and you like so focus on everything around you instead of just running the race. Obviously, I feel like you get like a bit disheartened. You're like, oh, I'm further back now. That person's gone in front of me. Like all this is happening. But if you're just like, okay, I'm running my race, I'll complete which obstacles I complete. If not, I run a penalty. I do this. It makes it feel like a lot better, and then you get back into your stride quicker instead of being like, oh, but now I'm 3 people behind because I've fallen off an obstacle or something like that. So I definitely think it helps with the OCR side of things as well.
Mm. So well, I've got a question. This is Libby as well, because it's me being quite philosophical. And I was questioning this myself recently when I was running. When you have obstacles in an OCR race, do you see them as a positive when it comes to running? Do you see it as a positive? It's obstacle is a running break to allow yourself to refresh, and when you come off, you run quicker, or do you see it as a running barrier? When you do an obstacle, it takes your momentum away. Say you're running quite quick, obstacle knocks momentum, takes a while to get momentum back, or does it depend on what occasion? What would you say it is?
I've actually never thought of that before. So
I love this. I thought this recently. I was like, oh my god, this is great. This is the OCR philosophical side we need to think about.
okay.
What
I'll
do you
go.
think?
I'll start because I have thought of it once or twice. I have been asked more. Well, I've been asked before from a person. So I think for me, I don't mind it too much because I'm quite good at getting back into my running stride after stopping. And I think it helped from me doing it from such a young age. I think that has gradually got into the way I run. So I think for me, I don't mind it too much because I can also breathe and then get back into it. But I don't mind it. No, I've said that a couple of times now.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I think for me it depends. There's times where I'm like, oh my god, my legs are dying. I need an obstacle just to give me a break so I can get back into it. And there's other times where I'm like striding through, feeling comfortable. And I see an obstacle, I'm like, ugh, I'm finally gaining ground again. And now this is gonna just stop my momentum. So I think it's definitely dependent on the situation, the race, how you're feeling, etc.
I'm looking forward to hearing your answer. You're quite an injury kind of person, so the obstacles will just go one after each other after each other.
So my answer is, as I've only just recently started getting back into OCR and running and stuff like that, I'm going to be completely honest, I'm pretty bad at running. So I'm running and I'm getting almost getting to the point where I'm getting slower and slower. Then I have an obstacle and it's like, oh, well, now I can breathe, I can do what I'm used to, calm down, and then I can sprint off again. Because with being a 100-meter athlete and being used to like short distances, I can run quite fast for probably about like 200 meters, and then I start slowing down again because I have not got very good endurance at the moment. I am working on it. But so I see the obstacles as almost how we describe it in Ninja is their speed boosts. So the obstacles that you probably get through the obstacle quicker than you would just running the bit, depending on which obstacle it is. So with stuff like, say, like the monkey bars or just like a normal basic obstacle, we can like jump and swing quicker than we could have ran it. So we always have speed boosts to get back to the running sections. So I love having the obstacles in it. I think we did the 3K at Jack Carpenter's Field Fit, and it had like, how many obstacles did it have in it? It had like,
You had quite a few.
or something like that. And it literally, the longest bit was one of the weighted carries. And I know me and a few of the other ninja athletes absolutely loved it because we were like, we can just go fast through this, fast through that, fast through that, do a little tiny bit of running and then go back to our obstacles again. So how I see it, the more obstacles, the better. But yeah, I definitely don't see them as burdening by running.
Oh, now I'm thinking again though, because is even the right way to look at it all? Because compared to the greats like Jesse DeHare and Dayan and all these superb European athletes, do they even see it as a rest point? Do they see it as a stopping of the stride? They see it as neither of them. They just fly through. They don't even blink. They just go obstacle done. There's no change then.
You
I
should
think
ask them next time you see them, Finn.
yes, I should, because I think for me, sometimes you get to obstacle, it knocks me off my game. They don't blink. They go, bam, I'm running, bam, obstacle, bam, I'm done. There's no change. And I think that's what separates the elite from the rest. And yeah, it's weird to think about, but it's definitely an interesting conversation.
There you go. There's your next conversation next time you see them.
What you saying? I should bring some of the Europeans on here, shall we? Get some. That'd be great. Go on. That's plans for the future then. I mean, they brought whoever it is, our frenemies in the world got Leon Cofield on, didn't they? Accountability Corner. We can kind of respond with some European athletes of our own, like I say, maybe Dane or something like that. Some of the Dutch to come in, show them who's business. I mean, Cofield was then. We've got the youth. You hear us Accountability Corner. You might have had the old Europeans. We've got the new Europeans coming in, the fresh ones. Our guests are going to beat your guests. That's what I'm trying to say. There you go. We're starting a rivalry now. Here we go.
We've got all the juniors. So
exactly. Their guests are all going to be in their wheelchairs. Yeah, exactly. Their guests will be in the wheelchairs hobbling around, and our guests will be flying through. That's a couple of years' time. Our guests will be flying, winning races. So there you go.
God.
In fact, know what? We've got the team points already in the UKOCR series. We should have the points in terms of our guests. We have Accountability Corner versus Pint Size, and see who's going to win that. We'll see.
Oh, exactly. Gosh.
Number one podcast. Rivalry begins. But I can't say that because a lot of them are very nice to me and us in the past. I don't know if you can say that.
Now.
We love you guys over at Accountability Corner.
I haven't said any of it.
Disrespect. Yes, it's just been me so far. They still care about you.
Don't drag me into this.
Yes, I'm not dragging you in now. It's it's me who's caused this, but
Okay,
bring it on.
let's carry on. So I've forgot my question now.
This is my fault. I get carried away now, and
Yeah.
I drag things away.
Okay. I'm gonna think of a new one now. Okay. So we'll move on from Euros now and we'll start talking normally. But Izzy, so I'd like to know, obviously are more ninja, but when did you like figure out OCR, or was it before ninja or after ninja?
Okay, so this kind of like ties in with how I found out about like ninja and stuff as a sport and like as a whole. So I might just throw that in there now if that's all right. So how it started off was like probably like 4 or 5 years ago. I went to watch them film an episode of Ninja Warrior on the TV show. So then for my birthday, my mom surprised me by taking us to our local Ninja Warrior park, which was the Ninja Warrior in Stoke. And I met the manager there, really lovely guy. Sadly doesn't work there anymore, but very lovely guy. And he introduced me to OCR because he was an OCR racer himself. So he was like, you know what, you're good at the obstacles, try OCR. So then I joined an OCR team for a little while, found out mud and running and cold weather and all that sort of stuff was not my thing. And then we kind of got tipped off that ninja sport was becoming its own thing. So it'd be like we'd be making leagues and this, that, the other in the UK for ninja courses. So I knew about OCR first, did OCR for about maybe 6 months, did like 3 races. My first ever race was actually OCR WC when it was in the UK. So that's an interesting experience. But yeah, so I found out about OCR first, decided that, running wasn't my thing, got as much better at the obstacles. So as soon as I found out that there was something like obstacles, inside, dry, nice, good, I was like, yeah, I'm doing that. So obviously I've started venturing back into the OCR side of things a bit more now, thanks to the 100 meters and the 3Ks. So that's very exciting. I just need to work on my running a bit. But yeah, I mean, it was definitely OCR first, then Ninja, and now we're kind of back into OCR and Ninja mixed a bit.
I also want to say, talk about that as well, the mix between the two. You look at the 100-meter European champs, 100-meter at the FISO Worlds, of course. What is the difference between the ninja courses and the short 100-meter course in terms of like qualifying, atmosphere, obviously indoor, outdoor? What are like the similarities and obviously key differences between those two for you?
Okay, so we have this conversation quite a lot because there's been certain like discussions deciding whether the OCR 100 meters is more a ninja course or an OCR course. We see it as an OCR course because everything's bells and it's running and it's stuff like that. Obviously in ninja we don't have bells. We just have like a point you finish past. You go platform to platform. But obviously in OCR it's always about the bells. So I definitely see it more as a OCR course. Obviously, the athletes that do better in the 100 meters are the ones that are faster, like over the walls, under the cargo nets, all that sort of thing. So you'll see the ones that win are the ones that are actually quicker over the OCR obstacles rather than the ninja obstacles. Because we're very good at swinging and jumping and stuff like that. But as soon as we have to like climb over something or get down really low and crawl under something, we slow down a lot more. So I definitely see it more as an OCR course. But environment-wise, it's very, very similar with like everyone cheering on everyone just being really, really supportive with each other. So I love that those two are linked together. I like that we can throw our injury stuff into the OCR courses so that like we do get little bits of advantages there. So where the OCR athletes are more used to like matching on everything and going like safer with stuff, because obviously with you guys doing it outside, you've got mud, rain, all that stuff. So you've got like safer ways of doing stuff. But then the ninjas will come in and will like skip 3 bars and do this and do that. So I like that we can throw that in there. But I definitely see them as two very separate things. But it's just the OCR thing that I'm actually pretty good at instead of the OCR thing that I'm not as good at.
Yeah. What's interesting as well is, would you say it's a bit of hybrid between the two? Because I might be completely wrong here, but There's isn't it the Ninja League, isn't it? I can't remember exactly what it's called, but I remember seeing, I think recently OTG, Obstacle Training Grounds, I think took an event there, and that's obviously an outdoor place doing a ninja comps. What was that like? Was that a bit of a interesting mix?
Yeah, so this was kind of like an experiment to try and get more people like aware of NSUK and stuff like that. So we have our Ninja Sport UK League, but we wanted to try and get it in as many facilities as possible. So obviously with the Ninja Warrior Parks comes a lot more like having to go through a lot more different things to be able to get an event like officially there. So we wanted to go to as many facilities as possible, like proposing the idea of doing a Ninja Sport event there. So when we're there, we run on competitions the same as we would do a ninja competition, but it just has more distance between the obstacles. So we try and run it more as a ninja comp rather than like a OCR 100 meters. But I enjoyed it. It was very nice to see because we got people like the Jeffreys and the Fairmans and stuff to come down and join in with the competitions. And it was very obvious that the ones that are better at running did better in those competitions. But yeah, it was a really good experience.
Yeah, that's great to hear. And like you say, a real combination of like the Jeffreys and Fairmans and all that. So a lot of OCR combining with Ninja, which is exactly what we want to see. So yeah, perfect.
Finn, should we do our question?
Yes, go on.
I would
I'll let
love,
you.
I would love to hear Izzy's answer for this. So, for all the juniors, we have asked a question on who has done the better races. Obviously, you're a 100-meter ninja. So, I would want to see what your answer is. Who does the better races, me or Finn?
Oh, this is a hard question. You can't pin each other against each other. That's not fair.
We have done it.
This is horrible. I think you're both equally good in your own ways.
No, it's like which races you would do. So not who's better, which races.
Races. Oh, this is a hard question. This isn't fair.
Is it 2-2 currently, is it?
How many we had? We've had.
We missed one, didn't we? I think we were a bit forgetful at one point, but I think
it's 2-2.
yeah.
So this is you're on the decider now.
You just made it even more pressure.
Yeah, thanks. Okay.
I'll put it a different way. Libby represents Spain. I represent England. It's the
No,
last minute of the Euros final.
no,
Who's scoring?
no. No.
You can't take the football out of me right now. Okay, I'm worried when this gets uploaded because things could be very different or very, very good. So, touch wood.
Okay. Go on, give me a bit more information. Give me more specifics of why
So
choosing.
obviously, I do more the not longer. I would say no, we do the same distance, don't we?
Yeah, pretty
This
much.
year, mostly this year, I've done Spartan and Finn's done
British
Champ,
series.
like the British Series one.
Yeah.
So I mostly go abroad for races, whereas Finn stays in the UK.
I love the UK weather, but also I do go abroad sometimes. Denmark's been nice. Netherlands, I know. I like my culture.
Yeah,
I'm not
I go
all
away a lot
UK.
more than Finn
Yes, but I go
because
Europe.
I'm away right now. So yeah, so basically it's kind of abroad races and UK races.
A lot of places I go got ninja though. I will say a lot of 100 meters where I go.
Oh, this is a hard question to answer. So I'm gonna do this purely based off of the branding of them instead. I have never done a Spartan race, so I'm going to vote for Finn for his UK series.
Boom! For England.
I've done a good fair amount of 3K series.
I will take that. I'm going to do technical races now, Finn.
England 3-2. Same the score will be Sunday. Wait and see, people. Touch wood.
OCR. Wait, when is it? This
Sunday finals this Euros.
Oh, we'll
8
see.
o'clock kickoff.
Really happy or really sad at the OCR games.
Yeah, this is why we've uploaded this now, because if we also recorded this now, if we did this Monday and things went wrong, I'd just be moping the whole time. Oh yeah, welcome back, Pint size OCR. I'd be very upset. But if we won it, I'd be even more ecstatic than I am now. But I don't want to jinx things, and we're here for OCR, not football.
No, we're not here for football.
You never know. If we get big enough sponsors, we could get tickets to go watch the World Cup in 2026. So, come on, fingers crossed. Go to America, see the final in New York. Pint size OCR. across the world.
I hoped you were going to say that maybe if we got enough sponsors, one day we'd be as big as football, but you didn't take that.
No, I probably should have. I probably should have, but
Yeah.
my football heart got in the way and my ego got in the way. Let's try that again. If we get enough sponsors, enough people behind us, we can eventually go take pint-sized OCR for free by sponsors to the OCR World Championships. There you go.
Hey.
That's where I should have gone. I'll chat to British Airways. We'll mention British Airways in the podcast, and in return, they'll get us a couple first class tickets to Costa Rica. And yeah, it's all settled.
All right, I've actually got I've got a next question in my head. Obviously, we've talked about past races and all of that. Upcoming races. What upcoming races have you got, and what other upcoming races would you like to do?
Okay, that's a good question. So currently, all eyes are set on OCR Euros and Worlds next year, so Portugal and Sweden. So those are two big races. I'm working a lot, so I can afford to fund them. So those are definitely in the views for being able to do both of those next year, hopefully. But yes, we've got a few more ninja comps coming up this year abroad that we're planning to go to. And I think I'll be focusing more on the 3K series again next year, because I took like a bit of a part of it this year just to see whether like I enjoyed it or to see like how it fits in training wise. And I definitely need to work on my running. But I'm really looking forward to being part of the 3K series a lot more next year. So I'll try and fit a lot more series races in. Obviously, the NX UK League will have a lot more events for that next year. But yeah, the big goals are definitely OCR, EC, and OCR WCH.
Yeah, nice.
What about you guys?
Pulling
Go on,
back.
Libby.
Okay, upcoming races for me is OCR WC at Mammoth. I think that's been my A race throughout this whole year, I think, for me. Because of the 2 years I've been 3K, kept my band 2 years ago. 15K, lost my band. Last year, came second in the 3K, but lost my band on the 15K on the exact same obstacle. So we will be going back, hopefully, this year. I'm hoping that will be my getting it. And hopefully, we'll be doing the team race again. Hopefully, getting first. Maybe. We'll have to wait and see.
Defending the title.
Yes, hopefully. And then next year, I think, by the looks of it at the minute, it will be Spartan races again.
So for myself, I've got Rampage coming up, of course, once again in the British series. Also costly Costa Rica. I say costly because it's expensive. So yeah, Costa Rica World Champs plans. Go see how that goes. Looks very exciting. Weather looks nice. And actually, no, it's the wet season. Weather looks warm. Wouldn't say nice. There's a lot of rain, but excited for that. Also got the Beast coming up, not as in Spartan, as in at Body Hub, which would be good. That looks really exciting. Actually, I was down there today. Actually, yeah, Daryl's working really hard. I think it's a good race as well. If you look at prices of things on OCR, it's very expensive. It's only 40 quid for a ticket, which is really, really good, really, in terms of like the current OCR market for races. So that's really good. I'm excited for that. Obviously, going once again into the future, Portugal next year, Euros. I'd love to be there. Sweden, sorry, I did the accent there. For the Worlds, that's a question mark for me. We'll see, because it starts on my 18th birthday, so I'm a bit like, you know, could do OCR drinking age. So we'll see. I'll be, it's question marks. That's obviously a long time in the future, but for now, just gonna keep going, keep training, and enjoying it.
So yeah.
Oh, sorry, I've got another OCR, like in the grand scheme of things, question. Libby, you said about the team race, yeah, and you're defending your title. No, it's not that.
Oh, thank God.
All I want to say is, do you think this is fair in OCR? OCR tickets are expensive. We all know that. Kids know that. Adults know that. Should it be that a defending champion in their race get their ticket for free so they can defend their title? Should that be a rule in OCR?
I don't know.
I think it'd be great. Defending champions get to race. It's a reward for winning the race. Races can then get their champion back in.
Good
it
idea.
Makes it more entertaining. I think that should be a rule in OCR. But there you go. Izzy, what do you think?
I wonder if it would give people more of like, I don't want to say more of a want to win, But obviously,
Yeah,
as
maybe
juniors, we still don't get prize money, do we?
Which one?
As juniors.
Mm, age cat, no. Age cat don't. Pros do. That's
Exactly. I
that's
wonder if
right.
free entry for the winners of the juniors, maybe, so that it could get more kids involved, and then it gives them a prize rather than like all the other like elite get money and this and the other, and the juniors don't. So I wonder if maybe that would give them more of like a want to come compete because we'll get free entry next time.
If I remember correctly, I don't count me on this. I think at China, it's not prize money. I think it's goodies, but like good goodies.
Good goodies.
Yeah.
Good eats.
I think that's correct. But I understand where you're coming from with the juniors. Yes. At the same time, I feel like it could be a downfall for some race companies.
Yeah, but can I? Yeah, I will. Spartan's got a good bit of money. I'm gonna say that now. I'm gonna tread with caution here. But like you look at, for example, Harry Jeffrey, reigning champion. Should they go? Yeah, you're champion. Here, we'll pay for that. Get over here, defend your title. This is what it's about. That's what sport's about. Should we have that happen in OCR? I think yes. Obviously, it's a big debate. Listeners, what do you think? Let us know. Boom, another big discussion.
Mm-hmm.
Little podcast, big opinions, big things in our sport. There you go.
Oh God. I forgot what I was going to say.
I've done it again. I've confused everyone with what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
you confused me of my thoughts. I was going to ask a question.
I'm going to let you think. And while you think about that, I'm just continue saying about the future being quite bright. Of course, our young athletes coming along. Of course, it's useful for us looking at, obviously, Sweden and Portugal. They're European races, so it's quite local to us, which would be quite nice. Obviously, got European technical ability. The more we get into these European races, European style races, the more I think we'll learn, especially for the youth, to get used to this technical challenge and the way obstacles are going to be more technical races. So, like I say, we're looking towards the future and what's happening. It is a really, really exciting time. Of course, Rude Rampage I've got coming up isn't, or at least last year, wasn't that technical of a race. It was a runner's course, but they've now, yep.
Am I correct saying when we're recording this on the 12th, it's this weekend?
Yes, it's this Sunday. So it's Bathurst region, I think. Yeah, down by Bath. So it'll be exciting. But the fact is, it's such a runner's course. But this year they've confirmed firefighters are in. So that's a little bit more technical, even on the non-technical courses. So that's exciting.
Finn's have to do really well then.
Yes, I think there's a lot of tough races running. I've got to try.
It's also football, isn't it?
Yes, it is. I've got to get home quick. Got to get to watch it with Colts United going to the fan zone. So I'm talking about other stuff now, but I'm very excited to go see it with my locals. We're all going to go watch it, and yeah, touch wood, it's coming home. But there you go.
Yeah.
Oh, I've got one more question now, actually. I was wondering this today. No, it's another thinking question.
Oh,
Where do obstacles names come from? Because I was looking at the firefighters today. What about that is a firefighter? Like I can see fire hydrant, maybe a big long pole, a little bit sticking out.
Do you know what a firefighter does to get to the truck? The pole.
Yeah, they climb a little pole. I don't think they go along things like that.
Climb up the pole.
Oh, they got a little ladder. Have they got a little ladder in the back of the truck. Hang on to it. They go, oh yeah, fire. Do.
No, no. Then in the firehouse thing, they have a pole which they have to
they slide down, don't they?
Yeah, it's kind of like that. It's so
I don't see little ropes on the
mission. I think it's roughly because you don't want to slide down the pole.
Oh, you don't. So it's the anti-firefighter, fire starter then, because the firefighters go down. They're fire stoppers. So your fire starters keep going up the pole.
I reckon Finn would be amazing at making up school names.
Oh, I'd be great. Let's look at the firefighter. What would I call it? I'd call it ropey sticks. You'll go along ropey sticks because it's long little sticks, little rope sticking out. You go along them. I don't know. That'd be great. We need good obstacle names, and I think I'd be perfect for that job. Firefighters just doesn't work.
If anyone needs obstacle names being made,
exactly, I'll come up with great names for you. Yeah, everyone, boom, listen to me. You need obstacles because no one wants to go. Oh, look, it's firefighters.
No, that's not a bad name for it.
I know, but I wish it was. I just think of a firefighter. I don't think of an obstacle. I think of a firefighter. I just think of a fireman. I need to think obstacle. unless someone said Taurus Farfighters, but it sounds a bit like, yeah, something it's an Apple phone. It needs its own name, its own identity. I don't know. I'm rambling on now, but there you go.
Okay. So I think we've covered most things.
Yeah, all wrapped up.
Yeah. So I think that is coming towards the end of the podcast.
Yes, yeah. I hope everyone enjoyed listening. Remember, you're listening to this now. I'm telling you now, there's people on Patreon have listened to it before you. So you're behind already. And to those who are listening on Patreon, thank you, because you're listening for everyone else and you get the insights what everyone else does. And if you're not listening, join it. Because you get us and every other UK OCR podcast that little bit more early. So you can be a little bit better than your friends because you listen to us before they do. So please consider it because, yeah, it's useful for us and it makes your podcasting days even better. So, yeah, thank you for listening.
Yeah, I think those definitely just said that. Definitely join Patreon to get to this earlier. But yeah, so thank you for coming on, Izzy. It was amazing having you help us discuss the European champs because we would have absolutely no clue.
Thank you guys for having me. It's been such an amazing experience being on a podcast. It's like something you'd never think you'd end up doing. And it's very, very cool, especially with you guys. You guys are the best.
Thank you.
Thank you.
But yeah, I think that's the end of it. So it is bye from me.
And bye from me. But as I say in Italy, ciao.
Thank you for listening to Pint-Sized OCR, produced and presented by UK OCR. If you like what you hear, please subscribe or leave us a review. And you can even get your parents to join our Patreon train so you can get your podcasts earlier than everyone else.
So alive, make it last forever. Stop in time.